Hey Creekside, welcome. We thought we'd just make this little video here, Pastor Mark, Pastor Tim.
Hey guys.
And we just wanted to just give you a little tour of our property and our building as we prepare to come back together for our upcoming worship services that are going to start on May 2nd. And so, but first things first, we got to put our masks on.
That's right.
So let's do that. We're going to get all masked up here. And here's the interesting thing. You know, Pastor Tim and I we're both fully vaccinated. I've been just a little while now.
Yep.
Just so you know, if you're ever just wondering about that. But even still, when we gather with others, you know, we're going to be masked up. And that's not just like a personal opinion piece. That's actually the guidelines still. And so that's what we're going to be asking everyone to do when they come for worship here is bring a mask and come and be masked up. It's just part of our whole biblical principle of loving one another. Right. Until the guidelines change, that's what we're going to be doing. And if we do have extra masks that are on site, if you happen to forget, but we do ask that you do that. And the other piece that we want to remind you of as we come together on Sundays, if you are experiencing anything that is along the list of COVID-like symptoms, you know, having a fever, you know, coughing a lot, you know, just stay home that day. You can still catch us online for our services that continue to be streamed. So that's our big welcome here, but we're going to take a little walk through here of our facility. Maybe you'll be reminded, you're like, it's been so long since I've been there. What does it even look like? So come on in.
So as we step into Creekside, it'll look a little bit different, but the main point is that we get to be together again. So we have extra masks, like Pastor Mark just alluded to. We also have hand sanitizing stations, and we are continuing to follow the state's guidelines in regards to social distancing. So we'll be staying 6 feet apart from one another unless you're in the same household. But again, it's going to be so good to be back together again, safe, healthy, in person.
So welcome back to our sanctuary here. As you kind of look around, it looks a bit different, doesn't it? And that's because we have a variety of kind of seating that kind of separates people out so that we can continue to have that 6-foot spacing that Pastor Tim was just talking about. And even in the back here, and you'll see in other places around our building, we even have some tables set up. And as we come into this space, continuing that 6-foot distancing, we invite you just to find a spot. And in some of the clusters, there's some seats that are seats of 4, some that are seats of 2, seats of 6. A table has 6 here. You know, it's basically staying within your household, although you can, at the table, be up to 2 households, and that's the same for other seating. It really comes down to your comfort level, but you can either just be seated by yourself or you can be seated with another household. And just so you know, we're not going to be doing any kind of reservation system here, you know, sign-ups to come to church, and that's because of the occupancy. Current guidelines is 50% occupancy. We have plenty of space that's not just in here, and we'll take you to some of the other spaces in a minute, that there's overflow spaces around our building. So there's plenty of space that doesn't necessitate us having to do a sign-up.
So as we gather again in person for our worship services, I want to let you know that we're following all of Washington State's guidelines for both speakers and musicians. One speaker will be our pastor, Pastor Mark, will be preaching, and while he preaches, he's not required to wear a mask. Also, you can have one soloist, one singer, sing unmasked, and with 15 feet of distance between yourself and the next person. And we want you to know that we're also following those guidelines. Also, we have had an incredible team put together our audio-visual and our sound for our online streaming services, as well as people who have been helping host on our online church platform, or Church Online, where we're connecting and engaging still online. That is not going to stop. We understand that this is a time where we want to make sure people feel comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable coming back to church in person, you can still stay home and connect with us and engage with us in intentional and deep ways through our Church Online platform. Now, one thing that is changing as well is that we will no longer be having our Zoom Commons on Zoom after church on Sundays, because we'll be having in-person fellowship right after church. We are going to miss those, but we're so grateful that we've had that time together. Last but not least, our service order will change a little bit. We'll be singing towards the end of the service, just to better follow Washington State guidelines for in-person religious gatherings. So it might look a little bit different, but again, we're still connecting. We're connecting in person and online because God is continuing to shape this church and lead it where He wants it to go. So we cannot wait to continue to grow with you as we worship our God together in our services here at Creekside.
Well, welcome to one of our overflow spaces. As we indicated earlier, we will have the service going live, fully live in the sanctuary, but there's a couple different options and you'll see a map right when you come in the front door in the lobby that shows all the different places you could go besides the sanctuary. And that could be because maybe the sanctuary gets filled up, or maybe personally you just want to be in a different space, find a space that maybe doesn't have as many people. Totally up to your discretion. But here we are, we're in room 103. This is that double wide classroom, and this is one of those options that we wanted to show you because this room is in particularly set up with just tables and even a smaller table here, because it's meant for families with younger children in particular. Not exclusively, of course, but like that would be the preference, would be for this to be a place for families with young children. And really, anytime you see any of the tables, that's open to anyone, but especially families with children, just to have that space to do whatever else they would like to do during the service. We will have some minimal options and activities in here for kids during the service, but we also have some other rooms. So the Commons is set up in a different way for people to overflow from the TV there. Room 107, which is the classroom at the far end of the hall here, has some overflow space, and we even have the cozy room set up for really just one household unit, maybe 1 to 2, I forget, it says on the sign, but 1 to 2 households in there that you can, again, all these options are going to be pulling the stream directly from the sanctuary in here. So while you're not in that space, you're right here experiencing the service live too. So come and explore and find the place that fits for you when you come here on Sunday. So lastly, once our service is done, we want to invite and welcome everyone to come outside. You know, we've got our whole front patio here that is going to be set up just for a place of hosting us as we come out of the service. But that's part of just continuing to be safe. It's like, hey, we've just had a wonderful time of worship. We've been able to do that indoors. We've been singing. And let's go outside too, where there's a little bit fresher air, to be able to continue to just be with each other, all still distance and all those things. And so this is kind of where we end our time on a Sunday morning. And, you know, we just welcome you back here. But we also recognize that, you know, you may not yet be ready, and that's okay too. So you're welcome to come on site. You're welcome to stay home with the online service. You're also, you can come in your car and watch the service online and then just pop out for the fellowship time afterwards. It's whatever is comfortable for you. But we're just really grateful for the opportunity to finally be back together, and we look forward to seeing you on May 2nd, whether that is here or if you're seeing us and with us online. Welcome back.
Can't wait to see you again. Can't wait for the reunion and seeing just not only the people that we've missed, but seeing you connect with those that are your church family, your community here at Creekside. We can't wait to be together again, whether that's May 2nd or whenever you feel comfortable coming back. It's going to be so much fun, and we're going to connect with each other and with our God again in fellowship in person. What a gift, what a blessing.
Yeah, and you get to meet this guy.
Yeah.
For real, in person. All right. We'll see you soon.